Well, you can look at the question another way. Why wouldn't scientists engage with policy? We're about trying to put across to policymakers the importance of science, how we can make a difference for the environment. So it's incredibly important to have that conversation in order to effect change and put across the great wealth of terrific work that's being done by ecologists. So one of the really tough challenges is having the right sort of conversation, being clear about who you're talking with and the sort of evidence that you're trying to put across. So it's incredibly important to be clear about the questions. What are the questions that are being asked? What sort of evidence is required to support these? Are you being asked for a view? Are you being asked for an opinion? And I happen to think opinions can be very dangerous actually. Or are you being asked for a judgment based on the evidence? So it's important to know who's asking the question, why it's being asked, and to have your hand on the relevant evidence. Well, I think first and foremost, again, it's to have that conversation. It's to be clear about who you want to have that conversation with and to be on top of your game. Have the information at your fingertips. Be crisp and clear with the headlines that you're putting across. Don't get immersed in the chaff. Don't burrow into the detail because that will be of little interest to the people you're talking to. Be clear about the evidence, be clear about what you want to put across, and have that conversation if there's some uncertainty about what you're trying to convey. Well, I think we're still starting out there in terms of ensuring that the ecological evidence really influences policy. I mean, climate change is an excellent example. I think the scientists have done fantastically well in marshalling the evidence to convince the policymakers and ministers of the impacts of climate change. I'd also point to the marine environment, incredibly complex there, and some very difficult science is being conveyed to great effect. Habitat fragmentation is another example where we're now much clearer about the drivers of change in the farmland environment, and we're able to tell the policymakers what sorts of management is required. Key thing now is to try and effect change.